have to go to jail. You're not bailing me out. Now stand up. Those are the last words of a man who still had the use of his limbs. What follows in this body cam footage from Stanislaus County is not just a tragedy. It's a masterclass in deliberate indifference. The video you're about to see was recently released pursuant to a wrongful death lawsuit, and it is gut-wrenching. It begins with bicycle cops riding through a festival, a seemingly routine afternoon. But for Anthony Silva, a simple allegation of public intoxication turned into a death sentence. While handcuffed behind his back, completely unable to break his own fall, officers slammed him face-first into the concrete. As he lay there, paralyzed, complaining he couldn't breathe or feel his legs, the responding officers didn't call for immediate life-saving measures. Instead, they mocked him. "You're fine, buddy," they said, while his neck and back were literally broken. Anthony spent nearly a year suffering in a hospital bed before dying in September 2023. Freedom is scary. Deal with it. The scene opens in Stanislaus County, California, with the casual, almost rhythmic pace of bicycle patrol footage. There's a festival going on, music, crowds, the kind of community atmosphere where you'd expect "protect and serve" to mean keeping the peace, not ending a life. The cops are weaving through the area when they encounter Anthony Silva. From every bit of footage I've reviewed, the only allegation against Anthony is public intoxication. He isn't brandishing a weapon. He isn't hurting anyone. In fact, he's remarkably talkative. He's asking to use the restroom, even joking about not wanting to pee in front of everybody. But watch the shift in energy. The moment they decide he's drunk in public, the professional detachment vanishes. They catch up to him on their bikes, and even before the handcuffs go on, there's an underlying tension in how they handle him. He's compliant enough to be walked toward a cruiser, yet the officers are already treating him like a high-level threat rather than a man who just needed a ride home or a sobering of cell. Now, focus on the screen, because this is where a routine arrest for public intoxication becomes a life-altering act of excessive force. Anthony is already in handcuffs, hands secured behind his back, being walked toward a patrol car. He isn't armed. He isn't even standing on his own 2 feet for half of this walk. Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. One officer claims a shoulder check or resistance, and in a split second, they slam Anthony face-first into the concrete. Listen to the sound. That thud isn't just a fall. It's the sound of a man's neck and back breaking against the pavement. Because Anthony's hands are cuffed behind him, he has no way to break his fall. He has no "save yourself" mechanism. In the eyes of the law, when you have someone in your custody and you've neutralized their ability to protect themselves, you are 100% responsible for their safety. To slam a handcuffed, nonviolent misdemeanor suspect into the ground like this isn't just police work. It's a catastrophic failure of training and humanity. What happens next is the textbook definition of deliberate indifference. Anthony is face down on the concrete, his neck and back already broken, pleading for help. "I can't breathe," he gasps. "I can't feel my legs." The response from the Stanislaus County officers? Pure mockery. "You're fine, buddy," one says, while another tells him he's just earned himself a felony. Instead of recognizing the glaring warning signs of a spinal cord injury, they treat his paralysis as a joke or a drug-induced hallucination. They talk about misplaced horses and walk for sausage festivals while a human being is dying in front of them. One officer even tells him there's nothing under your neck. When Anthony feels the crushing pressure of his own shattered vertebrae, for nearly 30 minutes, they let him lie there. They try to force him to sit up, to move his legs, and to stop playing games. This wasn't just a failure of medical training. It was a total abandonment of basic human decency. When you have a subject in your care and custody, their medical needs are your responsibility. To ignore those pleas is a gross violation of civil rights. When the paramedics finally arrive, the scene doesn't get any better. You'd think the professionals would step in and take immediate control of a suspected spinal injury, but the atmosphere is already poisoned. The officers have spent the last half hour framing Anthony as just on something, likely meth, they speculate, and that narrative clearly bleeds into the medical response. The paramedics walk up with a casual, almost lethargic pace. There is no sense of urgency, no immediate stabilization of the neck, and no recognition that they are looking at a man with a broken back and collapsed lungs. They just stand there, staring at him, while the officers continue their narrative of non-compliance. And then, right when the actual medical treatment is supposed to begin, the body cam footage just cuts off. That's where my footage ends, and it's where the transparency stops. According to the wrongful death lawsuit, the family only managed to get their hands on this footage a couple of weeks ago. It's a chilling reminder that what happens after the cameras stop rolling is often where the most critical failures occur. The medical reality of what happened to Anthony Silva in Stanislaus County is nothing short of a death sentence. While the officers spent 30 minutes mocking him for playing games, Anthony was actually lying there with a broken neck, a broken back, and collapsed lungs. He didn't just get over it in a jail cell. He spent nearly an entire year, from late 2022 until September 2023, suffering in a hospital bed before he finally succumbed to those injuries. Now, his mother has filed a wrongful death lawsuit, and the allegations are staggering. This case strikes at the heart of the Fourth Amendment. When you arrest someone for a minor misdemeanor, like public intoxication, you cannot use lethal level force. Slamming a handcuffed subject face first into concrete, knowing they have no hands to catch themselves, is the definition of excessive force. Under the Graham versus Connor factors, the seriousness of the crime is the first thing a court looks at. Public intoxication is a low-level offense. It does not justify paralyzing a human being. This lawsuit isn't just about money. It's about the deliberate indifference shown to a man in the state's custody. When you break someone in your care, you are responsible for the pieces. The bottom line is this: a minor allegation of public intoxication should never be a death sentence. When you put someone in handcuffs, you are stripping them of their ability to protect themselves, and in that moment, their life is in your hands. If you break them, you own the consequences. The Stanislaus County officers didn't just use excessive force. They displayed a chilling lack of humanity by mocking a paralyzed man while his clock was ticking. This wrongful death lawsuit is about more than just one arrest. It's about demanding that protect and serve actually means something. We'll be following this case closely as it moves through the courts. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more civil rights analysis here at Justice Valley. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.